Latin America is facing a wave of elections, and these are attracting a flood of information from all sides of the political spectrum. But journalists are striking back. I am Patricia Armendáriz, and I'm a media consultant for Latin America, and a major part of my work is analyzing disinformation in the region. 2024 is a super election year in Latin America, and in the past few years, we have observed a big difference in how political campaigns are being run. Politicians are using TikTok to talk to people, or generative artificial intelligence like ChatGPT to write their speeches. They are using sophisticated technology to create their campaigns. This is resulting in a stream of election content, and it is not necessarily better quality. There is so much information that we are seeing people avoiding the news, says María Teresa Juarez. She leads the Media Alliance Periodistas de a pie in Mexico.
Las audiencias están abrumadas, se sienten abrumadas por esta cantidad y velocidad de la información de producción de contenido. Las personas a veces nos sentimos aisladas e impotentes ante la información que estamos recibiendo.
But not everyone suffers from content overload. Numerous communities in Latin America live in information deserts. For instance, in rural areas of Mexico, journalism is often silenced by the government or organized crime. There are topics that local media just cannot report on. In disinformation deserts, it's even harder to tackle misleading content during elections.
Sin duda, es uno de los retos más grandes, porque si bien los comicios aportan un impulso temporal del tráfico de las noticias, también añaden este tema de la polarización y la división social al poner temas de debate que pueden ser dañinos para la sociedad.
In Mexico, 98 million people had to vote this year in what is the country's largest election in recent history. Besides Mexico, 7 other countries in Latin America are holding general elections in 2024, and at least another 4 in 2025. The biggest challenge for media is how to prevent people from engaging with narratives that feed their fears, that deepen divisions and split society into the good and the bad. This is no easy task, especially when political actors have a great deal to win or to lose. So their political campaigns use vote-winning strategy of creating messages that target emotions.
Me parece que es crucial decir que en tiempos de posverdad, donde los grandes creadores de contenido nos están, tocando en nuestras emociones, en nuestros sentimientos, en nuestras subjetividades, no hay que desechar la subjetividad como un eje de conocimiento y de pensamiento. Acá lo que pasa con el periodismo es que el periodismo fundacionalmente alude a la objetividad. Y tenemos un gran reto porque los creadores, estas granjas digitales de creadoras de contenido, a lo que están aludiendo es a las emociones y a las pasiones.
When she says digital farms, María Teresa is referring to a whole disinformation for hire business, also known as troll factories or net centers. The paid internet trolls run large networks of fake social media accounts. These accounts are used to artificially flood the internet with messages that can boost a politician's image or smear opponents or spread specific narratives. The owner of a digital farm in Latin America, who we will keep anonymous, explains the work on social media.
Y al final de cuentas, nosotros como tal no vendemos cuentas, vendemos acciones. Entonces estas acciones que se hagan, likes, comentarios, retweets, se trabajan. ¿Cuándo es exitoso? Cuando es una tendencia en Twitter. ¿Cuántos más o menos acciones necesitas para hacer una tendencia en Twitter? Necesitarás tal vez unas 5,000 acciones.
It's easy to hire people to post and comment from false accounts in Latin America, where unemployment is very high. A lack of regulations makes these activities difficult to control, but there are several legal cases underway regarding irregular contracts for these services. Some of them involve public funds. As troll factories largely operate without being held accountable, the next level of manipulation is already on its way. Audio and video cloning is getting more sophisticated and harder to verify. It is presumed that deepfake audio and video will soar during election periods. Data for Development research expert Julie Richard warns about the risks.
We've always known that video editing allows people to put together pieces of information that come from different videos and then create a whole new narrative with it. But even knowing that, a lot of the content that was produced in this way had really perverse effects in the elections over the past years. So with generative AI that not only allows to create such videos more quickly and with better quality, but also messes up with our belief system, we may reach a whole new level of information disorder. Because up to today, we used to believe that if it's in a video, then it's probably true, it actually happened. And now it may be fully fabricated.
Fake videos and audios spread over private communication channels like WhatsApp or closed chat rooms are the kind of content that people will be increasingly exposed to while they decide who to vote for. Maria Teresa from Periodistas de a pie says that there are ways that local media can combat these disinformation campaigns, and it is not by focusing on the technology or platforms. Rather, it is focused on humans, on looking closer into specific places and communities. In practice, it means identifying patterns of disinformation in specific locations, mapping the actors, and considering the risks that journalists might face when they report on specific topics. It is important to create media agendas that include the local perspective and that of their audiences.
Ante los desiertos informativos, ante la polarización, el periodismo local puede ser un factor para la reflexión social y también para la generación del pensamiento crítico. Lo primero que hemos planteado desde la red Periodistas de a pie es descentralizar la información. ¿Qué quiere decir esto? Bueno, pues que mientras los grandes medios globales, nacionales e internacionales van a cubrir sobre todo las elecciones presidenciales, es aquí donde los medios locales pueden establecer agendas específicas y salirse de la mirada centralista para cubrir desde las necesidades, preocupaciones y propuestas de las audiencias locales.
To make a difference, it is also important to involve communities rather than just report on them. Maria Teresa thinks that should happen in every newsroom.
Para esto es muy importante dialogar mucho con las audiencias, es clave para mantener los canales abiertos de comunicación e intercambio de ideas. Sabemos que a diferencia de los medios más grandes o los medios globales, los medios locales tienen un vínculo estrecho con sus audiencias o deberían tenerlo, y por eso es importante reforzar estos lazos de comunicación y tener, digamos, experimentos o pruebas innovadoras como redacciones abiertas, donde los medios se puedan encontrar en espacios, digamos, muy específicos con sus audiencias para escucharles y establecer un diálogo mucho más fluido y cercano.
Maria Teresa also advises local media to have an active two-way communication with their audiences. She thinks this should happen in the same community spaces or private channels that disinformation is often spread. It is on these channels that a sense of belonging resides.
Pues el periodismo tiene el reto de conectarse con las audiencias a través de estos canales de comunicación más personales, familiares y comunitarios y favorecer diálogos o cuestionamientos, preguntas acerca de los temas que encontraremos cada día y a cada momento en el contexto de las elecciones en México, América Latina y el mundo.
After all, journalism should be useful to the very community it is reporting for, and that alone wins back trust.
La credibilidad no solamente es tener rigor periodístico, sino que lo que hacemos sea útil para las personas. Si una radio, un podcast, una nota informativa, un reportaje promueven la reflexión y el diálogo, pienso que el periodismo ha cumplido su misión.